I'm Blake and welcome to my bog. We're back in the terrace area, continuing to develop those terraces. Here's a little flashback of what it looked like when I first started working on this area. And now you can see where I've been collecting rocks and slowly building up the layers of this terrace garden. I'll go ahead and link my first two videos about this garden here, and you can check those out if you want to. I didn't have time to plant up this garden like I did last year, this year, but I did let some wood sorrel grow, which is a delicious herb that tastes like a mix of lemongrass and Skittles that you can add to sugar, much like vanilla, to create a delicious kind of fruity sugar that you can add to citrus desserts. At the top of the terrace garden, we have some perennial food stock. There's eastern prickly pear as well as yucca, and the flowers of the yucca are edible and the prickly pear produce fruit. And then the yucca is also useful in textiles, especially cordage, because it is a little bit coarser of a fiber. This area has definitely gotten pretty overgrown and needs some love. So that's one reason why we are going to hardscape around these perennials at the top. It's going to reduce the amount of care that this area needs and also benefit the plants by returning them to a more similar substrate to what they would have grown in naturally. So my first step was going in with the weed whacker and really trimming this all up. But it's pretty easy once you have a border to go with, a rock border specifically, because it acts as kind of like a backstop for the trimmer line, so you can get some really clean cuts going pretty quickly. In this area for the walkways, I still have grass on most of the areas, and since it's such a weird kind of skinny, still very slanted area, I just use the weed whacker to trim up all of those grass areas, because if I didn't, I would be a tumbling over and sliding into the plants all the time and just end up chopping up all the wood sorrel I've been growing all year. This whole project is going to be a very multi-year project. So, great time to say like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you get notified on updates. But we need to slowly build up this area level by level, and I'm collecting the stone in a responsible way. So the areas where I'm collecting stone, I'm going when there has been a washout from a storm or something like that, so that I'm not taking rock from our endangered amphibians and fish fry in the area, and not completely removing what could be an incubator for some of our endangered species in one fell swoop in the area. I am adding a mountain rock blend, and so this is going to help mimic some of the broken rock glacial deposit that these plants really enjoy thriving in my area. And this also helps these plants build the kind of symbiotic and mutualistic relationships with fungus and bacteria that only grow in this type of glacial deposit landscape, because it is very unique. And so adding back a similar soil top chemistry to what these plants are used to will also help them thrive and maintain their area and put up all of their defenses that helps them defend against other plants that are competing in their same area. And just a little bit later, they already look so much happier. So that's it for this project. I do have a Patreon you can check out. I'll go ahead and link that in the description. This is going to be a very multi-year project. I have a lot of things in order for, or I should say, I have a lot of plans in order for this walkthrough educational garden, and any support that you can give me and this project would be greatly appreciated.